Stop. Before you take your vitamins tonight, you need to listen to this.
That was the voice of our expert guest today, Dr. Evans, a specialist in geriatric health and pharmacology. And that urgency is the entire reason we are having this conversation. Welcome to the Essential Health Podcast. I'm Dr. Anya. Every year, 1 in 4 adults over the age of 65 will suffer a fall. And what Dr. Evans is here to tell us is that the cause could be the very thing you believe is protecting you.
That's right, Anya. We're not talking about smoking or a poor diet. We're talking about vitamins. The data is shocking. Up to 40% of fall-related hospitalizations are directly linked to common supplements that can impair stability. People are taking these every single day with the best of intentions, completely unaware of the risk.
And that is our promise to you today. This episode is a crucial public service announcement. We are going to open that medicine cabinet and expose the hidden dangers. Dr. Evans is going to walk us through 5 common vitamins that have been scientifically shown to increase the risk of a stroke, brain bleed, or a serious fall, especially in people over 60. He's going to explain why they are dangerous in high doses or when taken at the wrong time. And most importantly, we will end with a clear, safe action plan for what you should be doing instead.
This isn't about scaring you. It's about empowering you. Knowledge is your best medicine.
Okay. Dr. Evans, you've promised us a list of 5 surprising vitamins. Let's start with the one you said is the most shocking of all.
We're going to start with the vitamin that is on almost everyone's supplement list, the one we are all told to take for our bones, our mood, and our immune system. We're talking about vitamin D.
Vitamin D. I have to be honest, that is surprising. It's the sunshine vitamin. How can it possibly be dangerous, especially for a group of people who are often deficient and at high risk for osteoporosis?
This is the perfect example of the most important rule in toxicology. The dose makes the poison. In moderation, and when you are truly deficient, vitamin D is essential. But here's the dangerous truth that most seniors are never told. Taking too much vitamin D, especially without medical supervision, can quietly and significantly raise your risk of a stroke. I know how shocking that sounds, but I've seen it firsthand with my own patients. Let me tell you about Mr. Wolter. He was a 74-year-old retired Navy vet, sharp, disciplined, took his health more seriously than anyone I knew. Every morning, like clockwork, he would line up his supplements, and one of those was a 10,000 IU vitamin D capsule he bought online. He believed with every fiber of his being that he was protecting his bones.
A dose that high is incredibly common on store shelves, isn't it?
Devastatingly common. People see the number and they think more is better. But what Mr. Walter didn't realize was that this simple daily routine was slowly pushing his body toward a silent disaster. One morning, his wife found him confused in the kitchen. He couldn't speak clearly. His right arm was hanging limp. He had had a major stroke overnight in his sleep. When we ran his labs, the cause was immediately clear. He had dangerously high calcium levels in his blood, a condition called hypercalcemia. His arteries were showing signs of calcification. They were becoming stiff, and his blood pressure was erratic. The undeniable culprit, vitamin D toxicity.
Can you walk us through that mechanism? How does too much of a good vitamin lead to something so catastrophic?
It's a simple but deadly chain reaction. The primary job of vitamin D is to increase the absorption of calcium from your gut into your bloodstream. When you take these mega doses, you are essentially forcing your body to absorb far more calcium than it needs. Your bloodstream is flooded with it. Your body doesn't know what to do with all this extra free-floating calcium, so it starts to deposit it in the wrong places. It sends it into the soft tissues like the walls of your arteries. Over time, this makes your arteries, which should be flexible and elastic, become stiff and narrow. It's like turning your plumbing into brittle, calcified pipes. And what happens when you have stiff, narrow arteries, especially as you sleep when your blood pressure naturally fluctuates? You create a perfect storm for a blood clot to form and travel straight to your brain.
And the scariest part, as you said, is that there are no warning signs until it's too late.
None. You go to bed feeling fine, thinking you've done something good for your health, and you wake up with your life forever changed. Let me be very clear. If you are taking any vitamin D supplement, especially one over 2,000 IU, it is absolutely crucial that you have your blood levels checked by your doctor. And you must be especially cautious if you are also taking a separate calcium supplement or certain heart medications. This isn't a game.
Dr. Evans, that story about Mr. Walcher and vitamin D is a sobering and vital warning. You've made it crystal clear that more is not better. The danger was in the massive, unsupervised dose leading to a clot. Now you're about to tell us that another common vitamin can cause the exact opposite and equally dangerous problem, a brain bleed. Let's talk about vitamin E.
Yes, vitamin E, often marketed as the heart helper. For decades, it was praised as a powerful antioxidant, and millions of people over 60 started taking it, hoping to support their heart, improve circulation, and maybe even help their skin. But what the supplement bottle label doesn't tell you is that high-dose vitamin E can significantly increase your risk of a hemorrhagic stroke, which is bleeding inside the brain.
How does it do that? What is the mechanism?
Vitamin E in high doses works as a natural anticoagulant. That means it thins your blood and slows down your body's ability to form clots. Now, for some people, that might sound like a good thing, but the danger comes when it's combined with common heart medications that millions of seniors are already taking. Think about it. A huge portion of this demographic is on a daily low-dose aspirin or prescription blood thinners like Plavix or warfarin. They're already thinning their blood under a doctor's supervision. When they, with the best of intentions, add a high-dose vitamin E supplement on top of that, they're unknowingly playing with fire. They're making their blood too thin, so thin that it can't clot properly if a fragile vessel gives way. I'll never forget a patient of mine, Mrs. Evelyn Brooks. She was an 81-year-old retired librarian, sharp as a tack. She had a heart condition and was on warfarin, managed perfectly by her cardiologist. But she saw an ad in a magazine for a natural vitamin E 800 IU per capsule that promised to help her memory. 3 weeks after she started taking it, she was rushed to the emergency room with a blinding headache and confusion. The scan showed a brain bleed. Not from a fall, not from high blood pressure, but because the combination of her prescription and the high-dose vitamin had made her blood too thin to clot. A single, tiny, fragile vessel in her brain had broken.
And what do you consider a high dose? Because the numbers on the bottles can be so confusing.
That's the most shocking part. The recommended daily intake for an older adult is only about 22 IUs. Yet the supplements you see on store shelves are commonly 200, 400, even 1,000 IU per capsule. People take these for years thinking they're safe because it's just a vitamin. Mrs. Evelyn survived, but her short-term memory was never the same. She told me through tears, "I just wanted to help myself. I didn't know I was doing harm." And that's the tragedy. The message is clear. If you are on any medication for your heart, especially a blood thinner, you must talk to your doctor before adding vitamin E.
That's another crucial warning. Let's move to the last of the fat-soluble vitamins on your list, another one that people think of as universally good, vitamin A. We think of it as for eyesight.
Exactly. We're told to eat carrots for vitamin A in good eyesight, and in its natural form from food, it's essential. But in a high-dose supplement form, it presents another unique and dangerous risk because like D and E, it is fat-soluble. Your body stores it. It builds up over time in your liver and tissues. When you get too much vitamin A in your system, it can lead to a condition that can be easily misdiagnosed as a stroke. It's called pseudotumor cerebri, which literally means false brain tumor. It causes a dangerous increase in the pressure inside your skull.
So it's not a clot and it's not a bleed, but it's a pressure problem that mimics the same symptoms.
Precisely. The symptoms are headaches, blurred or double vision, dizziness, and slurred speech. A family will see their loved one experiencing this and rush them to the hospital fearing the worst. I had a patient, a 79-year-old piano teacher named Miss Dorothy. She came in with exactly those symptoms. We did the scans expecting to find a stroke, but there was no clot, no bleed. Instead, we found elevated intracranial pressure. After a long conversation, we discovered the cause. For 5 years, she had been taking a high-dose skin and eye supplement that contained nearly 10,000 IUs every single day, not realizing her multivitamin already had all the vitamin A she needed. As we age, our liver slows down, so this buildup of fat-soluble vitamins happens even faster. For seniors, the safe upper limit is around 3,000 IUs per day, and only if needed. The lesson here is to be a detective. Look at your multivitamin, look at any specialized eye health or anti-aging formulas you're taking, and add up the numbers. You may be unknowingly doubling or tripling your dose of vitamin A, putting your brain under a dangerous and completely unnecessary pressure.
Dr. Evans, the information on fat-soluble vitamins has been a huge wake-up call. The theme is clear. Because they build up in the body, more is definitely not better. Now, I want to shift to the water-soluble vitamins, the ones we're often told are safer because our body flushes out what it doesn't need. But I suspect there are hidden dangers here as well. Let's talk about the B vitamins. I want to start with a specific one that's found in countless brain health and nerve support formulas. Let's talk about vitamin B6.
Anya, this might be the most tragic and ironic of all the vitamin toxicities I see in my practice. People take vitamin B6 with the absolute best of intentions. They see it on the label advertised as a nerve support or brain booster, and they believe they are protecting themselves from the neurological effects of aging. But what almost no one is ever warned about is that in high doses, vitamin B6 is a potent neurotoxin. It can cause the very nerve damage you're trying to prevent.
Wait, let me make sure I'm hearing you correctly. You're saying a vitamin marketed for nerve health can actually damage your nerves?
It can, and it does. Let me tell you about Mr. Harold Jenkins. He was a 76-year-old retired truck driver who came to me because his life was falling apart. His feet were numb, his hands were tingling constantly, and his balance was so poor he'd started falling. He was terrified. The third time he fell, he hit his head on the bathroom floor and ended up in the emergency room. His initial doctors were looking for the usual suspects, diabetes, a spine issue, but when I came to me, the first thing I did was ask for a complete, detailed list of every single supplement he was taking, and there it was. For over a year, he'd been taking a popular nerve support formula he bought at a big box store. The label was full of promises about supporting brain health and circulation, but on the back, in the fine print, each tablet contained 100 milligrams of vitamin B6, and he was taking 2 a day. That's 200 milligrams every single day.
And what is a safe or recommended amount for a senior?
This is the shocking part. The safe upper limit for an older adult is around 10 milligrams per day, and the actual need is closer to 2 milligrams, which most people easily get from their diet. He was taking 100 times the amount his body needed. Now, here is the dangerous mistake in thinking. Unlike some other B vitamins, B6 is not easily flushed out in high doses. It builds up in your system, and when it reaches toxic levels, it begins to attack the protective coating around your nerves. That same myelin sheath we talked about in a previous episode. It's like taking sandpaper and stripping the insulation off an electrical wire. The signal breaks down. The result is a condition called sensory neuropathy. Tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, loss of balance, and tremors. The symptoms creep in so slowly that people almost always blame it on arthritis or just old age. They never suspect that the very pill they are taking to help is the one that's poisoning them.
And is this damage permanent?
It can be, if not caught early enough. The nerves can be damaged beyond repair. Mr. Jenkins was lucky in that we caught it before he was wheelchair-bound. We stopped the supplement immediately, and the progression of the damage stopped. But he still walks with a cane today. He can no longer drive. He lost a significant piece of his independence because of an over-the-counter vitamin. And I'll never forget what he said to me. He said, "I just wanted to protect my brain. I didn't realize I was poisoning it."
That is absolutely heartbreaking. So, the clear, urgent message for our listeners is to go to their medicine cabinet right now and look at any supplement that is marketed for nerve, brain, or energy support and check that B6 level.
You must turn the bottle around. Look at the number. If you see a dose of 50, 100, or 200 milligrams of vitamin B6, you need to have a very serious conversation with your doctor about whether it is not only unnecessary, but potentially dangerous.
Dr. Evans, the warning about vitamin B6 is something I think every single person needs to hear. The idea of a nerve support vitamin actually causing nerve damage is deeply concerning. I want to move to the final B vitamin on your list, another one that is often taken with the best of intentions, but this time for heart health. Let's talk about niacin, or vitamin B3.
Yes, niacin, for decades, it's been praised as a natural way to help lower cholesterol. And you will find it in countless heart health supplements and even fortified cereals. But here is what is almost always left out of the conversation. Especially for older adults with less resilient cardiovascular systems, high-dose niacin can cause serious and dangerous swings in your blood pressure.
How does it do that? We often hear about the niacin flush, that warm, red feeling in the skin. Is that related?
It is the very heart of the problem. That flush is caused by your blood vessels suddenly expanding or dilating. High-dose niacin causes a rapid release of prostaglandins, which makes your blood vessels open wide. This can cause a temporary drop in blood pressure, which might feel like a head rush. But here is the danger. Your body is a system that craves balance. When it senses that sudden dramatic expansion of the blood vessels, it mounts an equally dramatic counter-response. Shortly after the flush, your vessels can snap back and constrict powerfully. This sudden tightening can cause a significant spike in your blood pressure, putting enormous stress on your heart and, critically, reducing blood flow to your brain. Over time, subjecting your arteries to this daily yo-yo effect, the cycle of dramatic expansion and constriction, is like repeatedly tapping a small hammer on a fragile piece of glass. Eventually, something is going to give.
And for someone with already compromised arteries, that tap could be enough to trigger a serious event.
Precisely. It can trigger what's called a transient ischemic attack, or a TIA, a mini stroke. I had a patient, an 82-year-old retired postman named Mr. Frank Miller. He came to see me with a strange collection of symptoms. He was getting hot flashes in his face, a pounding sensation in his chest, and episodes of dizziness that came and went every morning. His family was worried it was anxiety or a side effect of his other medications. But the real cause was in a supplement bottle no one had thought to check. He had been taking an over-the-counter heart-healthy formula. The front label made all sorts of wonderful promises about cholesterol and circulation, but the back label revealed the truth. 1,000 milligrams of niacin per serving, and he was taking it twice a day. That is over 60 times the amount most seniors actually need. That TIA experience, where his speech slurred for 2 minutes and then returned, was not a fluke. It was a direct warning from his brain that it was being starved of blood flow during these niacin-induced blood pressure swings. He had no idea he was gambling with his brain every time he took his heart supplement.
So what is the safe limit here? Because niacin is in many multivitamins.
In a standard multivitamin, the dose is usually very small and perfectly safe. The danger is in these high-dose, standalone cholesterol support formulas. The rule is simple. For an older adult, anything above 50 milligrams of niacin per day should only ever be used under the direct supervision of a doctor who is watching you. And if you have high blood pressure, any kind of heart rhythm issue, or you're already on medication, you must be a detective. Check the labels of everything you take for hidden high-dose niacin.
Dr. Evans, this has been an incredibly sobering but absolutely essential conversation. You've walked us through 5 common vitamins, D, E, A, B6, and niacin, and shown us how, in the wrong dose or at the wrong time, they can pose a real risk to our stability and our brain health. I'm sure many people listening might now be looking at their entire supplement drawer with a sense of fear or confusion. So let me ask the most important question. If megadosing on these pills isn't the answer, what should we be doing instead?
That is the perfect question, Anya, because the answer is both simpler and more powerful than people realize. The truth is, your body was not designed to run on high-dose, isolated, synthetic chemicals from a bottle. It was designed and built over millions of years to thrive on real, whole, nutrient-rich food. The solution is to adopt a food-first philosophy. Your brain doesn't just need vitamin A, it needs the entire symphony of compounds that come with it in a carrot. The beta-carotene, the fiber, the water. Your body doesn't just need an isolated B vitamin, it means the complex matrix of nutrients found in a piece of salmon or a handful of walnuts. Food provides these nutrients in the right forms, in the right balance, and with all of the cofactors and enzymes your body needs to recognize, absorb, and use them safely and effectively.
So it's about shifting our focus from buying protection in a pill to building protection on our plate.
Precisely. Let me tell you about one of my favorite patients, Mrs. Margaret Wilson. She was 73, a retired school principal. When she first came to me, she pulled out a drawer that was literally full of supplement bottles: D for her bones, E for her heart, B complex for energy, niacin for cholesterol. You name it, she was taking it. "I'm doing everything right, Doc," she told me. But she was feeling dizzy in the mornings, her balance was off, and her blood pressure was still climbing. So we did something that felt radical to her. We cleared the clutter. We put almost all of those pills away, and we replaced them with a simple, intentional, whole foods breakfast. No magic diet, no fancy program. Here's what it looked like: 1 boiled egg for clean protein, half an avocado for healthy fats, a single slice of real, whole grain toast for fiber, and a handful of blueberries for brain protective antioxidants. That's it. Real, recognizable, nourishing food.
And what happened?
Within just a few weeks, the difference was remarkable. Her morning dizziness faded, her blood pressure began to stabilize, and she told me with a light in her eyes I hadn't seen before that her mind felt clearer than it had in years. We didn't add a new brain pill, we just gave her brain the fuel it was actually designed to use: hydration, healthy fats, consistent energy, and micronutrients in their natural form.
So for our listeners who want to start building that protection on their plate today, what are some of the all-star brain protective food groups they should be focusing on?
The list is beautiful in its simplicity. First, leafy greens like spinach and kale, rich in folate and antioxidants. Second, fatty fish like salmon or the wonderful sardines we've talked about before, which are packed with the omega-3 fats that literally build your brain cells. Third, berries, all kinds. They are loaded with polyphenols that reduce that dangerous brain inflammation. And finally, nuts and seeds like walnuts and flax seeds for more healthy fats, vitamin E in its natural form, and magnesium. You'll notice these foods don't just protect your brain, they support your heart, your bones, your mood, and your mobility too. That's the beauty of the food-first philosophy. You're not just treating one symptom, you are healing the entire system with every single bite.
Dr. Evans, healing the entire system with every bite. I think that is the perfect, powerful thought to bring this incredible conversation to a close. You have taken a subject that is filled with so much fear of falling, fear of stroke, and even fear of the very vitamins we take to protect ourselves. And you've replaced it with clarity and a sense of profound control.
That is the ultimate goal. The final wake-up call is that at this stage in our lives, every choice matters more. But that is an empowering thought, not a frightening one. You don't need to fear vitamins, but you do need to respect them. And the single most powerful medicine you have at your disposal is awareness.
Awareness, that's it. Awareness to read the labels, awareness to have an informed conversation with your doctor, and the awareness to listen to the whispers of your own body, especially when it's telling you that something is off. This has been a true public service, Dr. Evans. Thank you.
It has been my pleasure, Anya. Stay safe and stay balanced.
And to our incredible Essential Health community, now it's your turn to practice awareness. We want to hear from you. After this conversation, which of these common vitamin warnings surprised you the most? Was it vitamin D? Was it the neurotoxic potential of B6? Please share your aha moment in the comments below. Your discovery could be the very thing that helps someone else in this community look at their own medicine cabinet with new, more informed eyes. If you found this conversation valuable and believe it could help protect someone you love, please show your support by giving this episode a like. And be sure to subscribe to the Essential Health Podcast so you never miss these vital conversations. You are not alone on this journey, and you are never too old to take back control of your health. Until next time, take good care of yourselves.